I think let's begin. So welcome everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us on the webinar today. My name is Rashmi and I would be introducing you to our chatbot, Lex, and we'll see how Lex helps you streamline the workflows and make you more efficient. In the interest to save the bandwidth, I would be turning off my camera. And let's begin. So in the agenda today, what we would be looking at initially is a brief introduction to our chatbot Lex. Then we'll dive into demonstrations showcasing Lex capabilities across various scenarios. We'll also update you on our current progress. And finally, we'll wrap up with a Q&A session. Lex is just not another AI tool. I'm sure with AI making the buzzwords these days, everyone must be thinking what different does Celoxis offer? While others focus on task lists and summaries, Celoxis AI integrates seamlessly into project management, streamlining workflows, saving time, and most importantly, reducing your. With that, allow me to introduce Lex, our AI chatbot designed to make managing projects and resources effort. Lex understands natural language, provides real-time assistance, and is available to help every member of your team, not just meant for project managers. Now, before we dive into the demo, a quick heads up about our Lex. Lex is still growing up. Just like a toddler, Lex is going through its terrible twos and might misbehave occasionally. So don't worry about it. We are continuously improving Lex to ensure a smoother experience for you. Now, let's jump into the first demonstration. I'm sure every one of you are eager to see what we are going to now offer. So imagine starting your day and wanting a quick overview of your projects. With Lex, you can simply ask, do any of your projects need attention? And that's exactly what we are going to do now. And that's a simple prompt. And you can see Lex has displayed us a report showing us all the tasks that need our attention or the project manager's attention. Next, let's ask Lex, show me delay tasks. And that's how quickly you can see Lex has displayed us all the tasks that need attention. Now, let's move on. So we've asked Lex the next question about what is wrong with these tasks. Lex is at work and we can see that he's trying to find out what is not correct with these tasks. And what you now see is that there are some tasks which are incomplete. There are certain tasks that should have completed so far, or even some tasks which are at risk. And you get a summary telling you, which tasks should need attention to. At times, when there are certain over allocation happening on a particular task, that is something that you would also be able to see. So what you see here, Lex provides immediate insights into projects needing your attention, helps identify delayed tasks, and pinpoints the issues causing delays. And all of this within a few seconds. Moving on, next, we'll now see how Lex makes resource management and communication with your team a breeze. Let's come back. And let's say one of the tasks over here has over allocation for a particular resource. So let's say find a replacement for resource called Ethan on a particular task. And that is a classic example that Alex is not helping us right now. So let's try again. We've asked Lex again to understand what was wrong with the delayed tasks. And let's see now what he has to answer. And now we have a proper prompt where Lex is telling us that, a certain task should have been 80% complete, but it's not. And this is the particular task where Ethan is assigned and he's overloaded. So now let's ask again for Ethan on, let's quickly copy this task. There you go. Now, Lex has decided to behave well. He's learning of what we are trying to teach him. And what Lex is showing us now is that Harry and Tanveer are two resources who can replace Ethan on this particular task. So now let's assign this task to, let's say, Harry. And within a few seconds, as you can see, not only have we found the available resources, the task has now been reassigned to Harry. Moving on, we can then also see how communication becomes easier. So let's tell one of the team member on this task called Brian to call me after 4 p.m. So let's add some comments. And that is the name of the task. So Lex is going to send an email to Brian with the comments that we have added for this particular task. Within a few messages, we have reassigned tasks and communicated important updates to team members, all without leaving the chat interface. Moving on, let's address a very common scenario: managing workload when a team member is going on vacation. Let's come back and let's tell Lex that Joe, who is one of our resource, is on vacation. Show me his workload. So within the view that you would see in Celoxis, you can see Joe's task. You can further drill down to see what are the tasks that Joe is supposed to be working next week. Now let's ask Lex who can take up this work. Wonderful. So you see, these are the available team members which have matching skill sets of Joe. So let's again assign this task, API development, to Marvin. So you can see this task has now been assigned to Marvin, and Joe can finally go on a vacation. So let's add a vacation for him right away. And that's how you can see within a few prompts, within the way how you would talk, we can add exceptions for resources. We can find available resources. So Lex makes it simple to adjust schedules, reassign tasks, and ensure that your project stays on track even when team members are unavailable. Now, moving on, what we'll be talking about is the challenge of the staffing of your projects. This is one of the very daunting tasks, and I'm sure if the cameras were on for all of you, This would have been a very topic close to your heart. So let's see how Celoxis makes it very easy for you now. I'll quickly navigate to a particular project here. This is in the planning stage. And as you can see, once we navigate to the Gantt, the project comprises of many tasks across different phases. You can also see that each task is currently assigned to different roles rather than specific team members. Now, imagine the process of manually assigning each of these different tasks to the actual users. So not only do you need to know the resources, you actually need to consider each person's availability, their skill sets, and the current workload. All of this is a very tedious and a very manual task, taking up a lot of your time. I'm sure many of you, kind of had a time through this. And once you create one small mistake, you would land up in resource over allocation and a lot of rework to be done. But now we can eliminate all of these headache entirely. And let me show you how Lex can transform this task into something that's very effortless. So let's start our project. You can just type this particular command and then have a cup of coffee before. Let's type this again. So let's see what Lex has to say now. Wonderful. So you can see the project website redesign has been successfully staffed within a few seconds. And let me take you back to the Gantt and refresh this. So look at this now. You can see all the tasks have been assigned to the respective team members by Lex. Not only has it matched the right people with the right skills, there is no over allocation indicator over here. So it's ensured that workloads are balanced and there is no resource conflict. To confirm this, let's refresh this dashboard again, where we'll see the workload by resources, and you see all of your skills are optimally allocated. So that's how you can easily see how the work of your staffing has been done quickly. So imagine the impact this could have on your productivity and the stress levels. No more juggling between the spreadsheets or second guessing the assignments. Lex handles it all with precision and with speed. Let's move on and now explore two powerful ways Lex simplifies task creation, saving your time and effort. We already have an option to create multiple tasks from the Gantt chart, but now we are taking it to next level by allowing you to create tasks not only through the chat interface, but multiple tasks from the Gantt chart using AI. So let's see how both of this works with a simple example. First, let's use the chat interface. And here I'm going to type. What's the name of the task? Assign it to Molly. So we're creating a task called design brochure and assigning it to Molly. And you see the task has been created quickly. Let's go to this particular project and see if it really has been created. And there you go. The task has been created. It has been assigned to Molly also. Now let's set a due date. Okay. It looks like Lex doesn't want to do this at the moment. So we'll skip this text, this particular example here, but scheduling just becomes as easy. Let's understand the natural language and can quickly create those. We'll come back to this later. Now, what I'm going to do is I've just copied a sample text here. We are going back to this particular project, and let's click on this multiple option here. Click on AI, and let's paste this particular text and click on generate. So this is the description of the tasks, and Lex is now going to generate a task for us. So Lex is processing the description and trying to help us here. So these are all, natural ways with which you can interact with Lex so that you can quickly get your work done. The information that you see on the chat window over here are views that you would see in Celoxis itself. So the interface is similar so that you can quickly see that information and click from there too. And we'll be looking at quite some examples now. It's taking a bit more time. So that's the task with the subtask created based on the description that we had given Lex. And now from here, you can assign tasks to appropriate team members. So for example, for the task book the venue over here, you can have Emily, or let's say Grace. You can also have duration. There are quite some examples for your reference over here. And once you click on submit, your project would be populated with all these tasks over here and the information that you had provided. And you're now ready to move forward with the project. So that's how easily we allow you to create tasks from the chat interface as well as from the AI under the multiple option. And it's not only the project managers. Now that we've seen how Lex revolutionizes the project managers, but Lex isn't just for managers, but it is for everyone on the team and can benefit from its capabilities. So let's explore how Lex assists team members in their daily tasks. Coming back, I'm now going to close this and we'll now log in as a team member. Now that we've logged in as a team member, let's ask Lex to show us the tasks that are due this week. So Lex utilizes the familiar Celoxis widgets to display your tasks, providing the same look and feel as you can see you're accustomed to throughout the application. You can select tasks from here, mark them as completed, or you can also click on the task to see details. From here, you can also add comments. You can mention other user, similar to how you would do in Celoxis in the application itself. So any more information you need, you can simply click on the detailed view as you can see and take all the necessary actions. Now let's move ahead and try other prompts. So let's say we'll log some hours and see how that can be made easy. Let's say design logo. And we'll add some comments. So Lex now needs us to confirm on what date the time entry needs to be entered and select the appropriate time code. So let's just say today and a time code of design. So that's how quickly our hours are added. So logging your work hours is as simple as sending this particular message. Lex records your time and attaches your comments, keeping everything organized. Next, let's send a message to our colleague. So we've added a message to Andrew. And you can see Lex has basically updated the task and also informed Andrew about this particular comments. And you get a confirmation from Lex immediately so that you know whether the things are done. So communicating with your teammates is effortless through Lex chat interface. Need not switch between apps or the different windows. Now let's say I was sick last Tuesday. So you see again the same prompt. So let's say last Tuesday and sick leave. So the hours are logged for us quickly from here, which Lex simplifies with all your administrative tasks like recording time off, all through this interface itself. And sometimes, let's face it, after a long time, even though, moving your mouse, just clicking on multiple things feels like a climbing a mountain. So we have trained Lex to help you out with this. All you can say is open my timesheet for last week. With just a quick message as this, you can see Lex has pulled up our timesheet and navigated to the previous week itself, and with no clicking required at all. To sum it up, Lex brings a new level of simplicity to project management. As you can see, Lex isn't just for managers, but meant for every team member who can benefit from it. With the AI-powered efficiency and a user-friendly interface, real-time collaboration has never been easier. Before we move on to the Q&A session, I would like to share where we are with Lex. Currently, as I mentioned earlier, Lex is in the development and the testing phase. As with any advanced AI, it can sometimes be unpredictable, but our team is diligently refining it. We are excited to announce that we are aiming to release the beta version by Christmas. So this means you'll soon have the chance to experience how Lex can transform your project management workflows and make it easier for you, made stress-free for you. So if you're interested in trying out Lex early and making us, help us making it even better, we'd love for you to join our beta program. And now let's open the floor for questions. Feel free to ask us anything about Celoxis AI or Lex as we have renamed it now, and I'll be happy to provide more details. I hope the session has been helpful. So we'll now look at some questions. Pramod, are you able to see the questions?
Yes, Rashmi.
Okay.
Sorry, I was actually answering many of the questions earlier.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go through these questions one by one. Right. So I think the question that we have here is the AI content within Celoxis, or is Celoxis partnering with a third party? Currently, we are partnering with the third party and will provide more details on this. I'll also put it in.
So Christie's next question is, how do we join the beta program? We'll soon give you an email address so that you can send us your registration. Meanwhile, you can just open a support ticket and let us know. I think that also answers, Josephine, your question. Rebecca, yes, we have recorded the session and we'll make sure to share that at a later stage.
And same with Andrea.
Andrea, that should answer your question too. Is Lex trained only to do the AI for the Celoxis projects and not other topic? At the moment, yes, it is only trained for Celoxis, and the that's what the Lex would do at the moment. We'll see what we can support next as we move along.
I think next question is from Frank. How are these messages sent to team members? So Frank, like Celoxis notifies the team members via email, they will see this in under the notification icon in Celoxis, as well as those will be recorded to those respective tasks. I think then the next question is from Andrea again. We'll definitely share the email address to you where you can then participate in the beta program. Will there be a training guide, video guide sent out on how to use the Lex once this rolled out? Yes, we are working on the knowledge base, and the documentation will be available through the same documentation link that you use.
Will AI be available default, or we can set the access using access control? It will be available by default for every member of your project. That's the advantage you get. And you don't have to worry about so if a team member is going to query AI, it can see results only restraining to the privileges that each of the user has. It doesn't mean that they can then see in everything. It is within the boundaries of their access.
I think the next question is, does Lex look at the historical project data for similar projects in Celoxis? I think definitely it will do in the future. So keep a watch for upcoming news on what next can Lex assist you with.
Andrew, your next question is, team members can only use Lex to update their task. As we saw, you can update tasks, you can fill in timesheets, you can send comments or messages to your colleagues. If there's something else that you would like to see, do let us know through the beta program and see what best we can do from there. I think we've answered all of the questions. I'm excited to see all of your questions and all of you joining in to see what Celoxis is offering in terms of AI, and hope to see all of you join this beta program. Any other questions? Do let us know your feedback to help our team also to understand what you think, what are your views on this particular feature, so that we can help you revolutionize your project management with Celoxis AI. So if in access control, PM can enter actual hours, I believe the AI will be able to do the same. Yes, that is correct. But I think what you're referring to is you want to be able to enter hours on behalf of someone else. Then at the moment, it is not possible. However, that is something we would definitely think, but the actual hours can be entered by a PM through the AI interface.
So there's another question from Peter. Is your focus on AI exclusively, or there are other Celoxis improvements you're working on too? So Peter, currently we are focusing on AI, but once this is done, we are working on the new user interface of Celoxis, and that will be out soon. There's a question from Ronan for the staffing for adding resources. Can you have it replace a role with the set name instead of it pulling from multiple users in that role? Yes, you can definitely replace by the actual resource for that role. Okay, so there is another question. It seems to me that the AI is going to work differently, or maybe not work at all, based on how roles are set up, how tasks are set up, etc. Are there guidelines on the best practices for organization use the help? Yes, definitely. We are going to come up with the guidelines, and that will be available through a knowledge base.
And it's basically going to work based on how the user interacts with the system. So imagine what you are currently doing through Celoxis. You're just giving Lex the commands to do that without you actually following the steps. So it's not change in any roles or the way Celoxis is set up. This is just going to make your work more easier, more stress-free. And to answer your question, Mike, on any plans on mobile apps, yes, definitely. Once we move as along in the roadmap, let the AI come out, then we're going to have a new UI as Pramod mentioned, and then we'd probably work on the mobile apps in future. Morgan, so yes, at the moment, what you can do is you can create a project from template, manually do that process, and then staff it. However, that's a good input. We've noted that down, and we'll pass it on to our development team and see if that can be done. That's a good input.
There is next question from Peter. In your resource example, how did Lex assign the tasks to the resource? Did Lex use the name of the task to determine the appropriate resource? So basically what happens, Lex, Peter, is that if you're staffing the project and if you have assigned roles on the tasks, Lex knows which resources are available with the same role, and that's how it assigns the resources.
And if you've explicitly assigned a resource with the name, like I did when I was creating an individual task, yes, I had used the name of the task. So Ronan, your question is, can you have it check if task exists for multiple projects? And finally, Lex will. So what Lex will do in such a case, it will ask you a prompt saying there are multiple tasks with the same names. It will ask you to pick the project. So it will not go ahead and create it in all the multiple projects, but you would be prompted to select one. No, I don't think it would do that, Ronan, at the moment. You will either have to give a command that you want to create a task so that it knows it has to create a task. If the task already exists, it might create another task with the same name. I hope I'm answering your question correctly.
Yeah, so just to add, Rashmi, basically Lex will display that there is no such task with that particular name. Do you want to create that task? So it may prompt you for to create a task if required. The next question is, how are resources name tied to a resource role? So Lex knows which resource pool to draw from. Is this set up in the user profile? Yes, it is set up in the user profile where you can assign a primary job role to the user.
Okay, it looks like those were the questions for today. Yeah, I think Ronan has a question. Ronan, you might want to, type this question on the chat here again. See if you've raised your hand. Okay. Thank you so much then. I think that's all from our end. Time to wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining again. Thank you for joining the call. And, if you have any questions, we're eager to hear the feedback and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much for your time today and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.